Hey y'all, Blandies, welcome back to Blandiverse Review. Also, welcome to the newcomers. So today, as teased in my post, I brought the Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. This is the ultimate action figure from NECA, and apparently everything from the box is outside over here, which I find it definitely cool and amazing. I really do love this piece. Of course, there are some downsides for it being an ultimate action figure, because if you are one of my older blendies out of all these subscribers out there, you might already know that I'm not a huge fan of ultimate action figures due to paint chipping and things, and this one has some of the issue, which I kind of hate when it comes to paint chipping, but we'll get to that in a bit. And yeah, let's get straight to the review. Terror never rests in peace, with amazing picture of Myers, Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers ultimate action figure. NECA Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. This is the Halloween 6. So look at that, the image of the pumpkin head, the strode, all the accessory that comes with this thing. Look at that, that is pretty cool. Inside the box you have a just promotional image of this figure itself. That is pretty sick. And before we get into the figure, I want to talk about all the accessory that comes with this. Why don't we get to the pumpkin head first, because it's Halloween figure. You get the nicely done candle over here. Really nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any LED light up gimmicks or anything. It kind of sucks. There's a seam around the head. It doesn't pop out or anything. Same with the seam at the side, all the way to the downside of this accessory. It doesn't split or anything, it's just there. But it's a nice addition for this figure, for sure. I want to get into this particular accessory now, because it is really cool. This is also part of the reason why I got this figure. He's coming. The kids out there were, fooling around with making this thing with a cardboard, right? You have it next to the soul sign over here. This is really cool. It's not made out of an actual cardboard, otherwise when it ages it will rip apart. Not too soon if it was made out of cardboard, but it's made out of thin plastic piece. That is pretty cool. Look at the mask. Look at that, the phantom like mask with a knife. He's coming. The drawing picture. Crap. It's fine. Glad it's fine. I don't know how the hell it flew away from me. You get a picture of the texture of a tape and a string for the mask as well, but it's not painted. Interesting. Look at that. I love this thing. You're able to use this clip thing to hang it next to the sign over here. Just like that. And you have the strode, the soul signature. This sign, not signature. Look at that. And the bottom side, it has a texture of like a grass, almost like a darkish green with some brown wash. That is really cool for a diorama. And the piece over here, the plastic piece you see, it's kind of curved. Look at that. It's supposed to be like that, I assume. Really nice sign. And I love this thing. Really cool piece. Let's hang it again. Let's just hang it like that for now. And get the cult candle accessory as well. Interesting, really nicely painted. Lights the fire. Look at that. Not much at the bottom. And this accessory as well. Look at that. That is darn cool. The syringe. I love how translucent green it is. Light green. Reminds me of older figures that I got from flea markets. Like these kind of translucent plastic figures. Damn. Look at that. That is really cool. It's not... Oh, it is sharp. It's kind of sharp. And you get 5 syringe stuck together. Really nice. Oh, it's 6 syringe. Got a crowbar. cool. Cool crowbar. And an axe. Look how rusty it is. The detail, the painting on this thing is absolutely amazing. Machete. Some blood, is it? Interesting. Got a knife. Have two knives. This is a slightly tiny bigger one. The one that's being held by Myers is slightly small. There's not much difference, to be honest. There's this mask that I really like. It's absolutely flat on the side. You just put it on the surface like that, and it is really detailed. It looks like he got slapped. Like, look at that. Pretty cool. But from the side, looks like a normal mask. So I'm glad how they even sculpted the ears and things properly for this guy being flat on the side. Really cool. You cannot really attach it to the body piece. This is the ideal hand that comes pre-attached when you open the figure on its right hand. It's an open grip hand. Have the knife holding hands over here. Nice detail. Quite impressive. This is like the axe holding hand. Another gripping hand. Lastly, has another head sculpt. It's all that green wash everywhere. That is terrifying. The hair is really nicely sculpted too. And you got a peg. You can attach it to your finger, I guess. Yeah, that's cool. Now we have to look through the figure itself. Really nice figure. Really nice figure. Let's get to the head sculpt. Look at that. You see the eye inside and things. And the painting's kinda weird, the way it's textured. Because it looks like there's so many, like, holes on the face. You see what I mean? It looks like it's really roughly textured. It's actually not. But it's really nicely made. Look at that. That is some quite interesting texture that they gave. It's really cool figure. The lips, a little bit of damage you see at the mask. Brown wash. The eyebrow is also in brown. That is really cool. Really nice figure. And want to look through the back side of the hair. Nice black wash with brown. Really nicely textured. Same for the top side of the head. So, and if you want to look through the jumpsuit, now it is really nicely made as well. Details of the pockets it have. Of course, it doesn't open because it's not like a mezco figure. It's not an actual cotton like costume, you know. But still, all the necessary wrinkles are down there. What's really different about this version of Myers is that all the other Ultimate action figure that we got from NECA based on Myers has near to similar jumpsuit from one to another. But this one has absolutely different paint scheme. Much brighter jumpsuit that this guy wears. The design's also different. And that's what I really like about this Myers. It's really just kind of different, you know? And that is really cool, isn't it? I want to go down even more. The thigh section, the hand. This is a small knife that I attached, as pre-mentioned. Really cool. Look at that. The back side of the pocket. Really nice. Also at the bottom of the pants. Nice wrinkles. Nicely sculpted shoe. Bottom. Really cool figure. I absolutely love this figure. before we get into the articulation, just wanna say one thing, regarding the problem that this guy has. There's so many paint chipping that occurred as I, articulate the interchangeable hands wrist section. Every time I pull it out in order to interchange it with one to another, there was already a scuff all the time, so that kind of sucks. And that's the only downside. No, not the only, actually. The way, when this guy was because I got a new box, obviously, because of the hair sculpt, the way it was packed, these tiny parts of the jumpsuit, kind of curved down, just like you see, the hair was absolutely just pushing this thing backside of the suit over here. So yeah, some minor issues it has, but the wrist peg paint chipping was always one of the worst problems that ever happened to NECA. But besides that, it has zero paint chipping when you articulate the elbow joints, nor the knee joints or anything. That is one hell of a big improvement that NECA made for the Ultimate figure. If they do anything better regarding the wrist pegs with the human-based Ultimate figure in the future, I'm definitely gonna make a purchase more regularly than before. Really, really cool. It's always the human figure that has this wrist peg paint chipping issue. Really sucks, because for the price point, NECA's the only brand or a company that makes these kind of affordable horror franchised figure. Especially Myers, they give a lot of effort to. The head moves side to side a bit, goes up and not too much up and down, nor the tilt, not too much. I'm gonna be careful, by the way. The arm goes up about that much. Of course, it moves up and down. Double jointed elbow, which moves about that much. The wrist moves like up and downwards. It's kind of stuck as it is. I need to use a heat dryer. There is no real articulation at the entire torso to the waist section. It splits well, goes up and down. There is a thigh swivel. Single jointed knee, which bends about 90 degrees if you push too much. Of course, the feet moves up and down, rotates side to side. It does have a pivot. It's kind of limited though when it comes to the articulation. It's the jumpsuit that this guy wears, and I think, if this Myers comes out in a 8-inch version from NECA one day, I'm gonna buy that one as well, because I already love this thing. And we also didn't even got the original Myers for the Ultimate series, I think the only classic Myers we ever got from NECA so far is the Cult Classic one and the 18-inch Myers, right? Not so sure if there's any other original Myers that has been released from NECA, but I do own the 18-inch version from the first film from NECA and McFarlane. I don't have the Cult Classic one for Myers. I didn't got it because that one's kind of ugly when it comes to the mask. The original mask is absolutely nailed by Trick or Treat Studios, both 8 and 12-inch scaled figure from TOT, so I might get that as well, because the mask is really well sculpted up for Trick or Treat Studios. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked, but yeah, this is a really cool figure overall, generally. It is, besides the paint chipping and some of the minor issues I had. Sometimes also for these human-like Ultimate action figure, the wrist comes hella loose, which I had to apply a bit of super glue and gave it a bunch of coat around the wrist peg in order to make it kind of, rough to move than before. It's really loose sometimes, and that is really unfortunate thing. Before the price point, NECA always nails it for the price point. And I'm not so sure how much the rarity of this thing will be in the future, maybe after 20 years of time. But yeah, NECA always satisfies me when it comes to their modernized design of the box, the amount of accessories that they give you for the price point. It's hella amazing. It's just the painting, the way they finalize the product, like giving a better coating for some of the joints especially would be much better in my opinion. But still, generally, this thing, they nailed it overall. Really cool figure, and I really recommend you to get it. Anyways, guys, that was it for the review, and yeah, please do check out my other review as well, and please do consider subscribing if you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.